Hi, I'm Loek Dikker. I compose for films, and I do that most of the time for the symphony orchestra.
You receive the script, you read the script, and then what happens?
Not so much.
I cannot believe that.
No, if I read the script, the film still has to be made. So, and as a composer, basically you are scoring a film that is close to his
picture lock thing, yeah.
Yeah. And when I start scoring, this is the only electronic instrument that is useful for me. And can you see what it is? I used the same one for already 40 years. So it should be in the museum or something.
Museum, yeah. It's a vintage piece.
Yeah. It's an old one. I bought it with a very known chain of shops. And how do I use that? First, I go to do what is called a picture breakdown, and which means that I'm looking at the scenes that should be underscored. So, together with the director or a music editor, if we are in a more professional surrounding like in Hollywood, then there's the music editor that provides a music cue sheet. Most of the time in Holland you have to make it yourself together with the director. Okay, then you know where is the music. Then you have to spot exactly how that scene that has to be underscored is working. So, and this is my list.
So you explain scene by scene what's happening here.
Yes, right? Yes. It not scene by scene, but so here, and after 6 seconds there is a cut to this, and then at 10 seconds after 0 there is this happening. It's all the small parts, and they are described what you see. And at the end, this is a very long one, but it does work the same. So I know exactly where my time code is bringing me to the image. And the great thing is that you have this, because you need a tempo for music, because it expresses itself into time. And if you have the tempo, you know exactly at what beat from the start a certain cut will be and a certain scene will be. And you can see that a little bit more here. So this is the paper I write on. It's a transparent. Can you see it? It's a transparent paper that makes me able to write on one side, and those printed lines are the other side. So if I have to remove it, it's all in there. And I worked like that like 40 years ago, and I still work like that.
And it's beautiful. They look beautiful.
Yes. So what I do is I make a notation of where these different cuts, these different scenes, different happenings in the movie are finding place. So at the end, you see here. You see this little arrow here, and I know what happens here. There's a little here, and you know what happens here. And of course, I know what happens here in the beginning with this little arrow. This is an example of a print of this transparent paper here. Okay. So I use this machine in order to know where, according to the tempo, the thing is happening. Here, this tempo here is written like 120 here. Can you see that? 120. Okay, which means that one beat is half a second. Yeah? And that means that 4 beats is 2 seconds. So I know that after 2 seconds there is this. The next bar is coming. So that's the way I can work this out. As a matter of fact, sometime there was somebody coming to my studio. He wanted to see the studio, and he came in and he looked around and said, "Where's the studio?" And I explained to him, "Well, you see, that's my writing table there, and you see that piece of music paper here, like I have lying here. This is a piece of music paper, and then so you see this. This is a little pencil." And you know, the music is in my head. I write this on my writing table. I write the music here. And I start writing when I sit there. And I have the right
piano
idea.
at this point?
No, not piano at this point. I play the piano when I'm working anyway, sorts, because it's my contact with the real world of music. But not necessarily the music I'm going to compose. Sometimes I do and try something, but it's just to get to know, to hear some sounds, you know, this to make things practical, and it's part of the process. But it's not a composing tool, really.
But don't you try after you write all of this? Don't you try to sit and see?
No, because you can't. You can't. Yeah, you can just tell. With all those notes here, you can just tell this is not. You cannot play this on the piano because the piano only has has two systems. You know this. So it doesn't work. You can't do that.
It has to be really on your mind.
Yes, and I also make sketches, and I'll grab one. Here, and this is only sketches. I don't write in what most composers they write first in a sort of piano version, which means that they use 2 lines to put on a sort of the composition in short. But I write immediately in score. So I have these sketches here, and it looks pretty empty because there is nearly nothing there. But this is, as a matter of fact, where I worked out the beginning of the movie of Diva Dolorosa here in the beginning. And
I go here.
yes.
The dance.
Yes. So what you see here is this phrase here, and it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on. Because I work this out on the paper, what I hear in my head. So that's the way I work.
It's very pretty.
I like the handwriting, as a matter of fact. And as a matter of fact, I have most of the time I have the music put in a digital version. Because you have to make the musical parts
for the orchestra.
For the orchestra.
Yeah.
And then there is a score, an overview score as well. But you know what? The conductors never used the digital version. They always used my handwriting when they were conducting. And I still have to ask them a little bit more about that. But they saw what I got is that they get inspired more by the handwriting than by the digital thing. Yeah. Because there is something in the expression that represents the music as well that is in my head. I don't know exactly how, but it's a sort of graphic thing, I don't know. Yeah. But that's the way it works.
And can you show us something in the piano of a composition of yours?
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, there is more to watch.